Tackling child poverty is, in the Scottish Government's own words, its defining mission. But today, a report published by the Joseph Rowntree Foundation has highlighted the scale of action needed to achieve that aim. An interim target for reducing child poverty has been missed, and based on current projections, a key target at the end of the decade will be missed by a large margin. So what's holding back progress and what further measures could help alleviate the problem? We got the thoughts of Chris Burt from the Joseph Rowntree Foundation and Terry McTernan, a community activist based in Paisley. Chris, how profound is this problem?
It's massive. Our report shows there's 1 million people and almost 250,000 children living in poverty in Scotland. And we think that shows us. Is it any wonder that people are feeling a bit overlooked and ignored by politicians because there are so many people in our country struggling to get by? It has to change.
Terry, what do you see then when you're working within your community?
Well, I see a general fear. Between inflationary rises at supermarkets to obviously the increase in the energy cap, etc. There is a general fear at local level. People are really concerned about what the future holds for them, particularly the onset of the cold weather. I mean, I've even noticed at a personal level having to put the heating on and stuff like that. So we run a number of different poverty tackling initiatives within the Tanahole Centre in Fergusley Park, and we've noticed marked increases just over recent weeks, just as the cold weather's begin to come in. And of course that energy cap has recently gone up as well. So yeah, it manifests in all manner of ways.
Chris, just remind us what these targets are and why are they being missed?
So the target is to have relative child poverty below 10% by 2030-31. We're currently close to 25%, so we're a long way off it. I mean, really, it's a lack of government action. So a social security system that's been withered and is too thin, not enough investment in housing, and not enough being done to support particularly families who are at high risk of poverty, so single parents, households where somebody's disabled, to get into work and to get enough money from that work, because it's not putting enough money on the table at the minute.
Well, yeah, because crucially, in Chris's report, it shows that 73% of children in poverty live in a home with a working parent. So people, even in work, are struggling. Terry.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I've been saying for quite a long time now, it's the working poor that are disproportionately affected by poverty. We're noticing marked increases in our attendance, for example, at the community market, weekly provision in the community, by people in work. There's even numerous requests being received for that very volunteer-driven provision to operate of an evening to allow working families to be able to attend, because they're of course not able to attend during the day as a consequence of being at work. So it's eye-watering. I mean, some of the statistics in today's report are really, it's the depths of despair, in the sense that I've been talking about this for many, many years. I think the last time I was on this show was a couple of years ago. It was a poverty summit. Last year, almost a year to the day, I met with John Swinney. We discussed very, very similar issues. It's time now for us to look at solutions. We know what the problem is. We've known what the problem has been for quite some time.
But why? I mean, the Scottish Government has put forward a potential solution. So what's not working? What's not cutting through? Or are there some initiatives that are working?
There are some that are. The Scottish Child Payment is having an impact. That is putting additional money in families' pockets. But we can't just think we've done one thing, job's done. The Scottish Child Poverty targets talk about a radical change to Scottish society, to the Scottish economy, and we are not, while we might see some rhetoric from politicians that talks about that, we're not seeing the sort of change that we need. The change in the jobs market, which Terry's talking about, we really need to see people get the reward for their graft that they deserve so that they can live good lives, which everybody should get.
The Scottish Government, they're doing the Scottish Child Payment. They also say that there's the Free Schools Meal Programme, there's the child support, and they plan to mitigate the 2-child benefit cap from next year. The Scottish Government say they are taking measures to tackle this problem, and they're taking it very seriously, Terry.
And I don't doubt that. Certainly the previous meetings that I've had, they certainly come across very genuine in their intent. But And as welcome as the increase in Scottish Child Payment is, that is simply offsetting other systemic inequalities like the energy cap, like the inflationary increases at the supermarket. So it's all very well to get £10 per week extra in the benefit, but if it's £12 per week extra in the rent, the council tax, the shopping bill, you're still £2 short. And it's such basic arithmetic. That's the level that our communities are now at. We're counting every single penny along the way.
How big an issue will this be going into the Scottish election? How big an issue would you like it to be, Chris?
Well, I think it needs to be massive. As I said at the beginning, we do see the public starting to get cheesed off with politics, frankly, that hearing things are going to change and not seeing that in our community. I think the next Scottish Parliament is going to be a big litmus test for Holyrood. Can all the parties voted for those child poverty reduction targets, can they deliver in the next Parliament the sort of change we want to see? Because if they invest today and get it right, that will mean a brighter future for everyone in Scotland.
I mean, what do you want parties to be offering in the run-up to the election? What practical initiatives do you want to see, Terry?
Well, first of all, I'd like for all parties in the new Parliament to essentially stop using poverty as the political football that they continuously do. I think this is beyond party politics. This is a national crisis. We're speaking about 25% of our population, 1 in 4 people living in poverty. And this has been ongoing for a number of years. So it's not something that only happened last week. It's time for us to focus on the solutions. Many of those solutions already exist and lie within the hands of the people experiencing this poverty that we're talking about. It's not some abstract, airy-fairy concept. Empower local people to identify their own solutions. You'll be really surprised with what they come up with.
OK, Chris and Terry, thank you both very much indeed for coming in this evening.
Thank you.